Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And in this episode, yes, we went up the stairs after where we fought the Shelter dude, and we've got a little bit of a puzzle to handle here with some crates and boxes of Pokefood and locked doors. But basically, you need to slide these boxes of Pokefood onto the panels on the floor that match the door symbol. So this one has the little moon thingy on it. So when you slide it onto that panel, the door with the moon on it is going to open. And there's a max revive chest right inside that door to the left. And then there should be another little item chest over here, which has 3 full heals, all of which are items that you can actually use and that have practical uses at that, which is unusual, but can't really complain about that. And that allows you to also slide this Pokefood box down to the sun panel, and that's going to open the door to the south of the room, which is where we need to go. But before we can go up the stairs, we are stopped by this guy. You've got to be good to get this far. Well, actually, we haven't gotten that far, but that's all right. Cypher Peon Lock, and we're forced into a battle here, and he's going to begin with Beedrill and Furret. Furret is a normal type Pokemon, the evolution of Sentret, and we've seen plenty of these Furrets so far, so that's not anything unusual. But we also have Beedrill here, and it is a Shadow Pokemon. And it is also a Bug and Poison type Pokemon from the first generation. And it is pretty bulky in the sense of its special defense. So in a lot of cases, it can survive a Psybeam or something like that. Not so much like a Fire Blast, but a lot of super effective attacks it can survive because it just has some bulk to it. Critical hit with Flamethrower on Furret. I think that was going to kill it anyway, but I guess that just seals the deal. Furret goes down and Togetic is next. And Togetic and Furret both like to abuse Follow Me, so it will prevent you from getting attacks off on Beedrill in order to weaken it. It's going to go for the Shadow Hold there so that we can't switch and get better matchups, which kind of sort of sucks, but at the same time it's not that bad. I recommend taking out Togetic and Furret first before trying to capture the Shadow Pokemon, because there are 2 in this battle. But it just makes things so much easier, even though you have 2 Shadow Pokemon that have a type advantage on you, attacking you at the same time. You just don't want things to get screwed up with Follow Me, because the time that you plan for it and attack, you know, one way or another is the turn they either won't use it or use it when you don't want them to, and things just get screwed up. So kill them first, like I did. And Togetic's replacement this time is a normal and flying type Pokemon. It is Pidgeotto, and it's a Shadow type. Not Shadow type. There is no such thing as Shadow type. Why do I say that all the time? Shadow Pokemon. And Headbutt does a lot of damage to Beedrill because its physical defense is much lower than its special defense. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and try to catch this Beedrill with a net ball and get out of this early, and then go for a Will-O-Wisp on Pidgeotto. A little bit skeptical though. As for Pidgeotto, let's talk a little bit about Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is an awesome flying type Pokemon. Oh, that didn't take very long. I guess we're going to have to burn it. But yeah, Pidgeotto is a great flying type Pokemon, and in this game there are not that many good flying type Pokemon. So if you don't have one at this point, I do recommend picking up this Pidgeotto. And it does have the nice immunity to both ghost type moves because of its normal type and ground types. So it's good if you're planning some type of Earthquake team or planning on teaching Earthquake to anybody in the near future. And it evolves at level 36 into Pidgeot, so it's kind of, sort of, almost there into its final form. And it also comes with Steel Wing, which is normally a TM move, and it helps fend off some rock types and ice types as well. So it's a great move for them, for that evolution line to have. And I think it also has Feather Dance, which is pretty cool. It lowers the opponent's physical attack by 2 levels. It's great for catching Shadow Pokemon that like to spam Shadow Rush. So can't say enough good things about Pidgeotto. Of course, I'm not going to be using them because my team is already set. and I have Crobat as a flying type Pokemon this run through. Alright, so now that we got both of these Shadow Pokemon burned and Beedrill's down into the red now, I'm going to go for a Net Ball capture with Beedrill here, and that should capture him now because I was pushing it before with him just having half health and no status conditions. There we go. He stays in the ball this time. Beedrill is ours. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that Beedrill also comes holding the Poison Barb, so that's a held item that will increase the power of poison type moves when held. So I could give that to Crobat once he finally learns a poison type move, but it's not going to do me any good right now. But you might have a poison type, so I thought I'd throw that out there. Ninetales bit the dust there, unfortunately, from all those shadow attacks. And Lairon's just going to be spamming Iron Defense so that Shadow Blitz does pretty much no damage. We'll get a quick attack off with Vaporeon because that's not going to do that much. Bring him down just below half health there. And after the burn damage, we should be able to capture this Pidgeotto. As you can see, even though it was super effective, Shadow Blitz did a total of 5 damage, which is kind of crazy. Alright, well I guess we'll use another Iron Defense with Lairon just to waste a turn pretty much. And then we're going to go for a Great Ball on Pidgeotto because I'm confident that I don't need to use an Ultra Ball here. He should stay in there. If that was Pidgeot, it'd be a different story, but Pidgeotto doesn't have an absurdly low catch rate or anything. And he stays in the first ball, so good for us. We captured both of the Shadow Pokemon in this battle without too much effort. We did, unfortunately, lose. Did I say unfortunately? Like, weird? It felt like I did. Anyway, we lost Ninetales, and I'm going to go back to heal really fast before we move on. Alright, I'm back, and up the stairs we go by where we fought Locke. And the first thing you want to do is grab this item over here. It's a couple of Hyper Potions. They always come in handy, especially as your Pokemon continue to level up. Super Potions might just not do the trick anymore. Well, we get stopped as we try to go to the left by Sephiroth Clado. And Clado's going to start with Absol and Smeargle, 2 Pokemon that are incapable of evolution. Smeargle is a normal type, Absol is a dark type, and Smeargle is the more unpredictable one here because of its sketch moves, and it technically can learn any move available. So we're going to go with Ninetales' Flamethrower on Smeargle to get it off the field immediately because you just never know what this Smeargle is going to have. It could have anything, and it's just not worth getting caught off guard with. So anyway, Ninetales grows up to level 36, and Smeargle's replacement is Donphan, the ground type Pokemon, the evolution of Phanpy. And Absol went for the bite. I don't know why he went for the bite on Lairon. I mean, it's not very effective. It would have done much more damage to Ninetales, but whatever. Iron Tail's gonna knock that Absol out in one hit. Goodbye. Alright, so we have Donphan to deal with, and Ampharos, a third evolution stage. It's the last evolution of Mareep. It's a pure electric type, and it has the static ability, so be careful when touching it, if possible. We're going to use Ninetales' Flamethrower to hopefully do some damage there. Gets it down almost into the red. And we'll use Iron Tail with Lairon, not on Ampharos, but on Donphan, and its physical defense is pretty bulky. As you can see, that doesn't even take it down to half health. Thankfully, Ampharos goes for Thunder Shock. I was expecting a Thunderbolt or Thunder Punch, but that didn't happen. And then Donphan goes for the Fury Attack on Lairon, which is the dumbest thing it could have done. The AI in this battle is beyond stupid. Okay, well, another Iron Tail will knock out Donphan because we got the defense drop. And we'll be able to knock out Ampharos without touching it with another Flamethrower. Oh, so we didn't get paralyzed. Awesome. We didn't get that much damage done to us at all. And all we have left to deal with is Tentacruel, the water and poison type Pokemon. This thing's pretty fast and relies mainly on its special defense to stay alive. So a lot of Psychic and Electric type moves are not going to knock it out easily, or at least not in one hit. But Ground type moves have a much better effect on it. Okay, so we're going to dig with Ninetales to try to evade whatever attack Tentacruel is going to use, but it turns out that it goes for a wrap on Lair because it's stupid, and I was expecting a Water Pulse or Bubble Beam or something on Ninetales. It just didn't work out that way. Headbutt does about a third of its HP worth of damage, and Donphan was finally going to use Fury Attack on something other than Lair, but I was digging, so I guess it didn't completely waste that turn. We'll do Dig on Tentacruel, and almost down to 1 HP, and it's going to wrap Lair again for whatever reason. Iron Tail this time is going to connect, which means Donphan is no more. Goodbye. I actually really like Donphan, and I think he's very underrated. So yeah, I do recommend using Phanpy and the Donphan line throughout this game. And I think if you do want to do that, I think the best thing to do is to teach it Body Slam at the move teacher lady in a Gate Village, because I think Fury Attack and Takedown are the only moves that it will learn up until a certain point, because its lower level move pool is just absolutely horrendous. So I do recommend picking up Body Slam if you can, if you decide to use Donphan, but that's your choice, I suppose. Let's pick up this item. It's a HP up, which I'm sure I'll put to good use. And we have another trainer battle here. And this is Cypher Peon Flippus. Flippus, really? Anyway, he's going to start out with Chimecho and Kecleon. And we only have a couple of more battles in this building, because this is actually the last floor, and then we actually go out up on top of the roof, which is pretty awesome. We have a couple battles up there, so we're getting there, folks. Alright, so let's see. We have Ninetales and Lair again, so we're going to go for a Flamethrower on Chimecho, even knowing that it has pretty high special defense. Flamethrower isn't able to quite knock it out. Iron Tail would have knocked it out, but instead we get the critical hit on Kecleon and remove him from this battle very quickly, which is always good. And Chimecho is only going to take one more hit. Noctowl is the replacement Pokemon. It's a normal and flying type from the Johto region. It's the evolution of Hoot Hoot. And again, it's another Pokemon, like the previous two that we've seen here, are very reliant on special defense. So if you can, try to use rock type moves on it, because ice, electric, yes, ice and electric. I don't know what I was going with there. But anyway, ice and electric are probably not going to knock it out in one hit, even despite being super effective, but rock has a chance. Mightyena is next, and with its Intimidate ability, it's going to lower our attack, which sucks. I hate when Pokemon with Intimidate come in the middle of a turn like that and then just lower my attack, because it's almost always before Lair can attack. So his attack power actually went down, and, well, thankfully, Noctowl had not enough HP to survive that, so we're good to go. I would have been pissed if that didn't kill him. Ninetales grows up to level 37 here, and now we just have to focus on this Mightyena. It's only at level 29, so we've got a pretty decent level advantage on it. Heat Wave unfortunately missed, and Mightyena's going to go for a Dig. Headbutt also misses because he's underground, so that was a wasted turn. Let's see here. If he goes for it on Lair, that might just kill him because it is effective ×4. So let's switch out Lair to Crobat. And if he goes for it on Ninetales, it'll also be super effective. So we'll go for a Dig. Even though Ninetales' attack has been lowered because of the Intimidate ability, just trying to avoid this Dig will be helpful. And yeah, he went for it on Ninetales. Awesome. But now we have Crobat out, who doesn't have a lowered attack from the Intimidate. And Wing Attack does a pretty decent amount of damage, about 2/3 of its HP. And Dig, critical hit, and then knocks it out. Lucky us. That negates the whole Intimidate thing. Down goes Mightyena, and that's going to be it for Flippus. I lost. I'm in shock. You should be in shock. I was in shock that your name was Flippus in the first place. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And in the next episode, we're going to continue on battling these Cypher Peons and hopefully get ourselves out onto the roof. Stay tuned for episode number 72. Game on.